Hello, welcome back to Duty's Daggers. It's Monday, and usually I have a video queued up that I had made during the weekend to come out on Monday morning, but today I don't. The reason for that is I was on a little mini vacation, a little bike ride on the motorcycle. Went up to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco Bay Area. It was really fun. Went with my buddy who I met through the channel. He was a subscriber. He's also into knives. Cool guy. And we had a little trip, and it was great. I filmed a lot of it, and I'm going to edit into just a quick little video of our trip. I think I'm probably going to upload it on this channel as kind of a way to push people to my other channel, which is not knife stuff. It's more of like anytime I make a video or want to make a video that has nothing to do with knives or EDC, it'll go over there. So there's not like a regular upload schedule or anything like that, but it's a lot of motorcycle stuff. I think there might be some like leatherworking stuff over there. But go subscribe. The link's down in the description, and yeah, go subscribe over there if you want to see some other stuff. So today I wanted to do a little video on my Shirogorovs Stellar and how I've been enjoying it, carrying it and using it for the past I feel like it's been somewhere around close to 4 months, 5 months maybe, that I've owned the Stellar here, and I just want to give like an update of how it's been. You don't see a lot of videos on YouTube of people, hard using their Shirogorovs. So I want to give you an idea of how this knife is to carry and use. It's a really expensive knife, around $1,000. This is a Stellar first production, which means it's in S90V instead of the M390 that the later versions are in. Also, the handle is sort of like bronze sort of color. It's a different color, a different shade than the other ones, the later ones. So this is my second Shirogorov. My first one was the Q95, the new one that came out in micarta with titanium liners. That was my first Shirogorov, and I liked it, but the micarta and titanium liners made it a little bit thick in the handle for me. And I wanted to just try a full titanium Shirogorov, so I got this one, and I absolutely love it. I am in love with this knife, and probably always will be. I thought I knew what hydraulic action was. People always said, "Oh, it's this knife has hydraulic action, sort of like a Shirogorov," And I thought I knew what that meant until I tried this knife. This is hydraulic action. It's insane. You see that controlled drop? It is so unbelievably smooth. It just glides. It's almost like there's no friction in there. The only reason that it's falling slowly is because just the tightness of it. If that makes any sense. It's amazing. It's incredible. I love it. So if you haven't tried a Shirogorov, you don't know what hydraulic action is yet. This is a really, really good EDC knife. The clip is fantastic. That was one thing I didn't love about the Q95 Ursus was it was a little hard to get in my pants. Like I had to kind of like twist it a little bit to get it over the pocket seam. This one goes in really well though. The amount of space you have between the surface of the scale and this, tip is wide enough to get over any pocket seam of any pants that I own, even the super thick ones, like my work pants. Goes in perfectly good. It's pretty deep carry too, only about this much showing, which is perfect for me. There's a little like kind of pocket milled out underneath the clip. I think that helps it to go in the pocket easier too. It just provides a little more space for your pocket seam to go under there. I love how it looks too. It goes with the knife so well. Shirogorov really is so good at integrating the clip into the overall design of the knife. I think they're some of the best that I've ever seen. just the way the angles the clip takes is just, it complements the knife so well. Really, really like it. There's a little lanyard spot right there if you want it. It's a pretty, I mean, just at first glance, you might think, oh, it's a pretty simple looking knife. But then you look closer and you see all these crazy little details. I'll probably put in a clip here of me showing some close-ups. We have this long titanium backspacer with little, notches in it. That looks really nice. Now the blade. I have done a cut test video with this knife, and you should go watch it if you want to see it perform. It really performed well. It's thin behind the edge. It's a tall, flat grind. The blade stock is not thick or super thin. It's kind of right in the middle. It has a nice swedge all the way down, and it's nice and thin behind the edge, even all the way toward the tip. It is a really, really good cutter. The sharpening choil is great. It's not large, but there's a lot of good separation between, where the edge termination and the plunge grind, which starts back here. The plunge grind is a nice tight radius. It doesn't slowly kind of get thicker and thicker and thicker. It's just whoop. Just a nice little radius. I'm sure it's a machined bevel. I don't think that was done with the belt. And it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's not, you don't get this big old notch, this big old ugly notch. It's just enough to, you're never going to get a smile unless you sharpen this, a lot of times, which I don't think you ever will have to. And it's perfect. I love this little kind of, I don't know what you can call that, little notch sort of thing they put up here. It's just for looks, and I think it looks really good, even with the knife closed. Just look at all this. Look at all these different just lines on this thing, man. This kind of big old chamfer dip right here, and here. Got that milling on there. Those little lines milled in, and then all the way around the edge. You got the Shirogorov logo right there, the bear. Now this is proprietary hardware, but you get a tool with the knife. I'm actually not sure if the first productions only came with the tool or if they all do. But really just like a penny would work, any kind of like slide, or even like a flathead screwdriver probably. Now this is an inset liner lock Shirogorov, which is sort of rare. A lot of them are frame locks. This one is an inset liner lock, which I really, really enjoy. I think maybe it helps with the ergonomics a little bit, and you never have to worry about, you're putting pressure on the lock bar as you flip it. You don't have to make sure your hand's in a certain position at all. You grab it and you flip it. That's all. Now, the action, as far as the deployment goes, is really, really good too. The flipper tab is sort of on the minimalist side. Grippy jimping. So snappy, so nice. Love it. Ergonomics, really, really good. Zero hot spots. It forms to your hand so well. Again, it's sort of a simple handle, but it is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just fits your hand so well. Now, you can choke up. This is sort of a small area here for your finger. You are pretty much touching that very edge, but you can kind of make sure that you don't, grip it hard enough so you don't slide up. I would only do that really if I'm cutting cardboard and I keep getting snagged in the choil area. I put my finger there just to prevent that from happening. That's really the only situation where I would really need to choke up like this. So how is it for day-to-day use? I think it's incredible. I work in a really dirty environment, a lot of dust, metal particles in the air, and I have not noticed this action suffering at all. Like stuff as far as like, stuff getting stuck in the pivot, nothing. It seems like this thing just resists all dust and particles. I don't know how, but I haven't noticed one single bit of grittiness after the day's work. I'll flip it and see if it needs to be cleaned. No. And I blow it out with compressed air at the end of the day. But I really haven't noticed it suffering at all. Lockup is very secure. It's just a great blade shape for everyday cutting. It's a drop point. The tip's dropped down enough to have good access to it, and just gradual belly up to the tip. It's enough belly to kind of rock back on if you're cutting down on a cutting board, flat surface kind of thing. But the tip's also low enough for getting utility cutting done. Again, if you want to see that in action, go watch the cut test video. It's absolutely perfectly centered. Watch my review to see this in close up. How close that tip is to that little tab on the backspacer is crazy. It looks like it's touching, but it's not. So, in conclusion, it is a very expensive knife, but an incredible one. I will never ever sell this. This is a permanent part of the collection, and I love Shirogorov now. I think anyone that has handled this one or any other Shirogorov really, well, maybe besides the Ursus, that to me wasn't a great representation of a Shirogorov. The action almost felt a little gritty. Not gritty, but like you could feel the bearing. I don't know if it was the bearings or if it was like the detent ball rubbing on the tang as it rotated, but it just wasn't as smooth as this one. But aside from that one, if you try a Shirogorov, you will fall in love with them. They just feel so different than a regular flipper. Or not regular, but like, an average flipper. They just feel different. And I think it's the hydraulic action. I think it's, just the flipping action, the detent, and sort of the apparent simplicity, but then when you look closer, it's very complex. I just think it's beautiful. I really, really think it's a beautiful knife and a really, really good user. So that's my thoughts on the Stellar after a few months of use. I'm going to keep using it. That's it. Let me know what you guys think. Have you tried a Shirogorov? Do you have one in your EDC rotation? If you do, which one is it? And if you don't have one, which one are you planning on getting at some point? Is it on the list? Love you guys. See you next time.